The peaceful world of Dreamland is in great danger. In Dreamland, dreams always flowed from the wonderful Fountain of Dreams. The Fountain of Dreams collected the hopes and dreams of all living things. It was also responsible for the sweet dreams and rest that come from deep sleep. But one day, everyone in Dreamland lost the ability to dream. King Dedede was bathing in the Fountain of Dreams. He had even taken the Star Rod, the source of the fountain's power, and broken it into pieces that he gave to his underlings. Now, Kirby must embark on an adventure to restore peaceful nap times to all the residents of Dreamland.
Hello Internet, it's Liko again, bringing you another Let's Play. This time it's Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, and this is actually the second time I'm recording this first part because I am an idiot. I got through the first 2 levels, and then I found out that Fraps didn't record it. And I was experimenting with using Audacity to record the audio like some people had suggested I do. I'm not doing that now because I think that's part of the reason I messed up recording in Fraps, because I started one but forgot to start the other, or I accidentally hit Fraps again so it stopped recording, or something. But the point is, yeah, everything you see me doing, I'm doing it again. So if I sound a little annoyed or something, that's the reason. I'll try to not sound like that, but yeah. Anyway, let's get right into this first file that I deleted because it had stuff in it from the first time I tried recording. 1 player. Level 1, Vegetable Valley. And right away it demonstrates Kirby's ability for this game. Nightmare in Dreamland is actually a remake of the Kirby game for the NES. I think it was Kirby's Dreamland or something of that sort. That was actually the first Kirby game where you had this power. In the games before that, all you really did was inhale and throw enemies at each other or eat them. This was the first game that allowed you to actually use their powers for yourself. And you do that by inhaling, swallowing them, and yeah, you get their power. And if you get hit, you lose it. And if you don't, it knocks that little star out of you, and if you don't reclaim that in time, it can disappear. So that was Beam that I was using for a while. I like Spark. I like these area of effect ones, really. I think Needle is probably my favorite Kirby power of all time, just because it looks cool and it's useful. But yeah, Spark, Freeze, Needle, I think that's the 3 ones that are like this, that are just like a field around you. I really like those, just because they're usually pretty cool. And I got a tomato right there that restores your health completely. And we're at the end of this first level already. Bonus stage. Hold A at the right time, and oh. See, now I'm not going to be... The first time I went through this, I got to level 1 like 4 times in a row. Now I'm not going to be able to do that, because it's actually recording this time. Up here is a minigame. I'll probably get to those later on. Basically, if you win those, you can get extra lives and tomatoes and stuff if you need them. But if I go through this as well as I did the first time, I'm not going to need extra lives for a while, because I had... By the end of my first recording, or what I thought was my first recording, I had like 14 extra lives. So yeah, you probably won't see me going out of my way to get any, except maybe to show you where some of the secret ones are. And mini boss. This guy throws bombs at you. Ow. Easy to take out. Ah! If you can eat him, you get the crash power, which destroys everything on the screen or does a lot of damage to bosses. But I messed up getting it. I accidentally destroyed him. Whoa, that was lag or something. And I should have taken that beam power, actually. I think there's another one over here, though. Oh, that's Spark. Spark works, too. Tomato. These... Ow! Those guys on the apples, if you can pull them off of the apples, they'll leave it behind. And sometimes you find them on tomatoes. And if you destroy them while they're on the tomato, it will destroy the tomato too, unless you eat them first. Yeah, I think I worded that a little better than the first time I played through that. I'm gonna take sword. Sword's not as useful as it is in the later Kirby games. In Amazing Mirror, it's amazing. Like, you have... It's basically like in Smash Brothers, where you have different... It does different moves depending on what you're doing when you hit the attack button. So you would have like Kirby's up, down, slash kind of thing, and he could like slash really fast if you hit the attack button really quickly. But yeah, I'm probably not going to do Amazing Mirror because it's so... The structure is so different from this one. Like, it's a big old maze kind of area, and all the levels are interconnected with each other. And I spend the majority of my time in that game trying to figure out... First trying to figure out where I am, and then trying to figure out where I need to be, and then trying to figure out how to get there, and... Yeah, it takes me a lot longer to get through Amazing Mirror than it does through Nightmare in Dreamland. I'm gonna take Burning, Fireball, ow, and lose it right away, of course. I'm just gonna be a... yeah, I'm just gonna fail horribly now, because... Even though I thought I was recording the first time, now that I'm actually recording, everything's gonna go horribly. So Fireball is one of the powers that can break through these gray blocks that you're gonna see pretty soon. And it's usually, when you find those, it's a bit harder to find the power you need to break through them. You can use Wheel, Hammer, or Burning to get through them. But sometimes there's only one enemy that'll give you those powers in the entire level, and then it's all about keeping that power with you until you can get to the secret area. Oh, UFO is another one that can do it, because, see up there the guy holding the 1-up sign, that was UFO Kirby. And that is one of the best powers you could possibly get. And something I forgot to mention, you'll notice that the level is revealing itself as I go through these doors. If the door turns yellow with the orange star, that means you've completed that level 100%. If it stays red with the yellow star, that means there's something in there you haven't done yet. But for now, just getting through these levels is enough to complete them, but later on we're going to find hidden switches and stuff, and that's how you know you haven't found one, is if the door stays red. But I know where all of them are, and that's one of the reasons I decided to do this as a Let's Play, because I know it really well. Another boss. These mini bosses are usually pretty easy. But yeah, this is Freeze. It's like Spark, except it'll turn enemies that you'd hit into ice blocks. And you can knock them into each other, and it does damage. And this whole area is pretty much just set up to show you what Freeze can do. Because there are just so many enemies all over the place that you can freeze and knock into each other. I got a health item. I always just call it a Coke bottle because that's kind of what it looks like. I guess it's supposed to be like some kind of medicine, but you know, whatever. Gives you 2 health instead of full health like the tomatoes do. In extra mode, it pretty much guarantees full health, because after you get 100% in the game, you unlock extra mode, which basically you have to play through the whole game with half the health, which is 3. So that makes the soda bottle give you exactly as much health as a tomato would in any given situation. At least I think it does. I'm not sure. Maybe it only gives you 1 in extra, but I'm not sure actually. I seem to remember it giving you full health anyway, though. Extra life. And I got a piece of candy there, by the way. See, I keep forgetting to mention stuff because I've already gone through this and I just want to get back to where I was. Candy makes you invincible and plays that awesome music. And I think it makes you run faster, too. Okay, so I've got 5 lives already. And I've actually got the best possible power to use for the first boss, Wispy Woods. He's the tree who shoots apples at you. And we're already almost done with Vegetable Valley. So I think what I'm probably going to be able to do is get through 2 levels each episode of this Let's Play, because the first time I recorded, was about 20-something minutes, and I got to the end of the second level before I decided that was a good place to stop. So I'm going to try and do that again here. I'm actually not timing myself, but I really don't care at this point, because I'm going to get through this reasonably fast anyway. Level 2, Ice Cream Island. And I don't need Needle, it's actually not all that helpful here. If you can get Parasol, Umbrella Kirby, it's kind of useful here because of the coconuts. They'll just fall on that and it'll protect you. But, yeah. Coconuts really aren't all that difficult to avoid anyway. It's actually a pretty short and relatively easy game now that I think about it. But, if you beat Extra Mode 100%, you unlock Meta Nightmare, where you play as Meta Knight. So basically, you're playing Sword Kirby with a few extra moves through the entire game. And the problem is, it doesn't let you save. And that's the main reason I've actually never beaten Meta Nightmare. Ah, crap, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I just accidentally demonstrated the crash power. But yeah, I've never actually beaten Meta Nightmare. I've gotten to around the last level, but I don't think I've actually... I think I might have gotten to level 6 before finally losing all my lives. This is Tornado Power, and it's one of the more useful ones, especially against King DDD. That's the only way I can really consistently make sure I beat him, is to have Tornado Power when I go against him. Because, I mean, if I had Tornado, I can beat DDD without taking a hit. Otherwise, it might be a little more challenging. Another mini game up there. I'll probably show them... I don't know. Maybe I won't. They're not all that interesting, really. Well, Quick Draw is kind of fun, though, but I haven't gotten it down. Needle! Random Warp Star! I always like the music in Kirby games. I think, in terms of music, I think Legend of Zelda series has the best music and Kirby has second best. Another mini-boss, it's a giant wheel guy. He's easy to beat. Most mini-bosses are. And now we've got the wheel power. This is another one of the powers that can break through the gray blocks that I talked about earlier. It's also really fast. You just need to watch out for things like spikes and bottomless pits, because you can roll right into those, and yeah, you can die pretty easily accidentally with this power. See, on that right side there's a bottomless pit, but down here there's an extra life. So yeah, that's an extra life to the left of the exit to this part. And yes, another extra life. See, I'm already racking up the extra lives. I wonder if I can make it through these first two levels without dying. And yeah, I'm probably gonna regret saying that, because now it's pretty much it's guaranteed that's gonna happen at least once. I did die once by accident the first recording. I fell into a bottomless pit because I wasn't paying attention. This part right here, you need a power of some kind, preferably sword or beam, anything really that has any sort of upward range, because then you can hit that bomb and go in here, where you can get UFO. Hopefully. Alright, got it. The first time I messed up, I accidentally killed that thing, and it doesn't respawn if you go back out. So if you hold the attack button, if you press the attack button once, it does a beam. If you hold it for a little bit, it does a laser. A little bit longer, it does a bigger laser. And if you hold it down to maximum, just a big old laser. And I'm pretty sure that big old laser can break through the gray blocks too. And it's also one of the few powers you can actually use underwater. Most of the time you just turn into this, you get like a scuba mask and that's it. But sword is one of the powers you can use underwater. UFO is... I know wheel you can ride on top of the water if you roll into it. Oh, and hammer. I know you can use hammer in underwater. And since I have this beam power, I can break that bomb, go around here, and slow down tremendously. Get that extra life, and that's it. For some reason I thought there was more stuff over here. Whatever. I actually also messed up getting down. I'm getting to a lot of places I didn't manage to get the first time I played through. So I guess that's one good thing about my complete failure on recording the first time. This is definitely where I think it is, which means we don't want UFO here actually, because it makes it a little harder. We've got a little mini, kind of not quite boss fight, but yeah, Meta Knight's gonna pull all these guys out, and it's a lot. There are some powers that make fight easier, but I generally just find it easier to eat everybody, shoot them at each other. And where is he? Oh, there's that. And we're done. I'm not gonna get that bottle because I'm only missing 1 health. Plus the end of the level's right here. And another extra life. Okay, I think I've gotten back into getting this part down. And we're going up into the clouds. These are museums. I think I forgot to mention that. They always have 1 or 2 enemies that you can use for their powers. There was one in the last one too, it just gives you sword. This one you can get laser or fire. Laser is really useful for range and solving certain puzzles, but damage-wise it's not all that great. It does bounce off corners though, so it's pretty useful in that kind of situation, but yeah. Okay. Watch out for these little pig... What the hell are these things anyway? They're like pigs with wings or something. I'm sure they have a name. I don't generally remember a lot of enemies' names, especially in Nintendo games, because they always give their enemies all these weird names. Yeah, I guess like except in Mario, because there was only like 1 enemy, 2 types of enemies the entire game, but yeah. I want fire for this next boss because it has the best range. Eventually I'll demonstrate the rock power, because I really like the rock power. This guy's a giant clock with a mustache. And he gives us one of the best powers ever, Mike Kirby. Kirby's singing is so bad, everyone in earshot dies. Observe. See? So everything on the screen will die when you use this power, but you can only use it 3 times. It's a little less powerful than Crash, since you can use it like 2 more times, but yeah. It's a fantastic power. It's just awesome. And I mentioned using laser to solve puzzles. This is one of the times you need to do that. Well, you don't need to. I mean, if you want these items up there, that's how you get them. You just shoot into the corner. I'm not going to go for that one because I'm already at full health, and I'd probably just get hurt trying. Get out of my way, laser ball. There is an extra life here, though. So I'm at 11 extra lives. You can't destroy the guns, by the way. So just run... I don't need to be in here, actually, because I've got full health. Yeah, there's a health bottle in there. And let's just get out of here. I want to be done with these levels. I've already done everything. Points. The points don't matter. They really don't. There is no reason to go out of your way to get extra points for any situation. You don't get an extra life every 10,000 like in Sonic. You don't. There's no ranking system. It's just there to take up space on the heads-up display. This part is a little annoying because there are so many guns. You have to kind of watch them for a second to figure out their pattern and then jump. Or just use the Mercy Invincibility. There's a health bottle at the end in case you take more hits than you want. Aw. If you get 2 enemies that would give you powers and you swallow them both at the same time, it spins a little wheel and gives you a random power. So that can be either really helpful or really annoying if you get sleep, which does absolutely nothing but put you to sleep. On the other hand, you can end up with UFO or something similar. This area here is pretty big. There are some of those gray blocks that I can use wheel to get through, but if you don't have wheel by this point, over here is an area where you can get fireball burning. So that's there for that. And this is not Amazing Mirror. You can't jump with wheel. Amazing Mirror lets you jump when you have the wheel power. Yeah. Oh, that's the exact same place I died the first time. That's kind of interesting, I guess. But yeah, that was where I died for the first time in my first recording that you're never going to see because it didn't actually get recorded. Cutter is, I guess, kind of useful. It has limited range. If you jump, it'll keep going. You actually see enemies doing that. They'll like throw it and then jump. That's actually how I learned you could even do that. These guys give you high jump power. It's not really useful except in areas like this. Ow. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call your power useless. And those bombs give you crash. I think I forgot to mention that. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. That guy's on a tomato. Might as well take it. High jump is fairly useless as far as the other powers go. And 13 lives. Would be 14 if I hadn't messed up on that one part, but you know what? I don't care. Because we're already done with Ice Cream Island except for the boss. The first two levels... Vegetable Valley has 4 doors, Ice Cream Island has 5. All the levels from now on will have 6 before the boss. And this area over here with this door with the axes, that is the arena where you can fight a mini-boss, and if you win, you get a tomato. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that because I'm already at full health anyway. And I should have gotten a power before going in here. This guy's a lot easier to beat if you have a power. Like any power, really. But he'll draw stuff. Oh, Mike. Awesome. Sometimes it'll give you powers, sometimes it'll just hurt you. But yeah, I just got Mike from that one, so I can take out quite a bit of his health. And I think that bomb gives you crash. Now this guy just has a death wish. Okay, that's perfectly cool. We got our second piece of the star rod already. And I have no idea how long I've been recording, but I really don't care, because now I'm back to where I was. Level 3 is better building. And we're gonna get to that in the next part. I'll see you then.